Excessive alcohol consumption continues to be a major cause of death and injury in the Northern Territory. The Territory has the highest rate of drink drivers of any jurisdiction. Thousands of motorists were breath tested in a drink driving lockdown in Darwin last weekend. Northern Territory Police Commissioner John McRoberts is in New Zealand, but he joined me in the studio before he left. Commissioner McRoberts, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
You've made some pretty strong comments about drink driving in the Territory. Why do you think Territorians continue to drink drive more than anywhere else in the country?
Look, I think it's cultural. I think that there is a part of our lifestyle that sees people drink to excess, and sadly many of them then choose to drive. And it's something that we have to do lots with, because if we don't, more people are going to die on our roads.
How bad is the situation on Territory roads?
Well, if you look at the latest stats, we are seeing on average 3 times as many Territorians dying on our roads compared to other jurisdictions. The average around Australia is about 6 per 100,000 population. Last year in the Territory it was 21.3.
Why haven't police been able to have any real impact on this problem? Is the answer more breath testing on roads and actually catching the offenders doing the act?
Well, we are a huge jurisdiction. We are often challenged by the tyranny of distance, not only in policing but in all other services. And the fact is that police can't be on every road 24 hours a day. We rely primarily on people doing the right thing. We invest considerably each year in terms of education, and of course we hope that that is effective, but when it's not, then enforcement is an alternative option.
Are tougher penalties the answer, do you think?
Look, I don't know that tougher penalties are necessarily the answer. I suspect that there are those in our community who, regardless of the penalty, will still drink and drive. As I've said in other fora, most of the time we are able to educate. Sometimes we have to enforce. Hopefully we educate or enforce before they injure or kill themselves or other road users.
Do you believe the Banned Drinkers Register is having any impact on problem drinking in the Northern Territory?
Well, we're certainly seeing some encouraging results, albeit early, and I think it's important to emphasise that we must be optimistic about anything that we think will curb the alcohol abuse in the Northern Territory. We know that alcohol contributes to about 70% of the tasks that police attend each year. That tells us something is going wrong, and hopefully our community recognises that it is time to take some serious action to address that. But I think it's important to highlight, Louisa, that the Banned Drinkers Register on its own is not the magic bullet. It's a part of the suite of initiatives that will hopefully turn those people who drink to excess and place themselves and others at great harm in a far better place in the future.
What difference is the alcohol register making to police?
Well, first of all, there are those people who we take into protective custody on a regular basis. They're people who get themselves so drunk that they can't take care of themselves and they need to end up in a police watch house or a sobering up shelter. Hopefully, by reducing the number of people who drink to excess and get themselves in that condition, we will see less people taken into custody and indeed less demand on police resources. Then there are those people who, after drinking to excess, commit some sort of crime, typically family violence, where partners or children are the victims. We hope that we will see less and less of those cases coming before us and ultimately going before the courts.
Are you surprised that people of the Northern Territory have accepted this register without really much resistance at all?
No, I'm not surprised. I see this as a response to the call from the public that we need to do something about the level of antisocial behaviour and crime in our community. Wherever I went in the Territory, as I travel around and visit police stations, people were expressing some concern in various parts about the level of crime, the level of antisocial behaviour, the things that trouble them. And I think one of the reasons that occurs is because people drink to excess. And what we now have is a banned drinkers register where those people who do drink to excess and come to the notice of the police for the wrong reasons will be denied access to take away alcohol.
An Alice Springs Town Councillor is pushing for a youth curfew to be introduced in the town that would see children under 16 years of age off the streets between 10:30pm and 6am. Are youth on the streets an issue for police in Alice Springs?
Well, they certainly have been, and we are now using to great effect, in conjunction with our colleagues in the Department of Children and Families, a section of the Care and Protection of Children Act, where police officers identify children believed to be at risk are taken into custody and are delivered to a safe environment. But I need to make it clear, I don't support a blanket curfew. I don't think there is any evidence from anywhere in the world which suggests that curfews reduce the incidence of crime or indeed improve the actual or perceived belief that a place is safer because of the curfew. And I think if you look at the Australian Institute of Criminology report, they say that effectively what you are doing is criminalising behaviour that is not currently criminal. Of course, the other thing is that there does exist provisions within our judicial process in which curfews can be applied. So courts and magistrates granting bail can impose a curfew if there is a belief that it will prevent someone from reoffending. So there exists that capacity already.
Commissioner McRoberts, thank you for talking with us.
You're welcome.